This is All Things Nerd production.
Hello, adventurers and listeners alike. Before we get into this episode, we do want to apologize in advance for some audio issues we encountered. We hope this doesn't take you out of the experience of this episode, but we did want to warn you beforehand. Now, please enjoy the adventure. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Kobolds in the Basement podcast. My name is Chad Hillson. I am your game master. We are joined with Dave Morris.
Kicking ass, but out of cash. Caster Flamebeard.
Schaloan Dysland.
As Luminora.
And Steven Dysland.
Sneak attack. Valerian.
Joining us again this week is one of the hosts of the All Things Nerd podcast, Jake Peters.
Playing as an unknown character as of right now.
Perfect. Well, let's get into it. This is Kobolds in the Basement. Now, before we get started, let's do a quick recap of the last episode. Last episode, our heroes and an unnamed cloaked figure boarded the lightning rail and Gatorhold, making their way towards the Corona Peak. Along the way, there was some flippant hand gestures, a handful of hiding, a bunch of drinking, all the way up until Irontown. And during the time from Irontown to Corona Peak, a couple of assassins, one of them known as the High Sister, attacked our party. During that time, all hell broke loose. During the fight, lots was done, lots was attempted. And at the very end of it, the last thing that the High Sister said for her final breath was boom, after making deep eye contact with Valerian and this unknown traveler with the party. And that's where we are currently. So to start it off right away, I need all four of you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
This will not end well.
A what?
Dexterity saving throw. So it's the box that says saving throw. You would click on the word dexterity.
+5, please.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Oh, Schaloan, double nat ones.
Double net. A 1 in 400 chance.
I got a 16.
I got a nat 20.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
So for a 19, because I have -1 dexterity.
Fucking wild that you're the one with the highest roll with a -1. So as the High Sister says boom, you start hearing explosions along the train. Up the carts, behind the carts. And the train derails through this explosion. And during all this, it sucks that so many of you failed. I'm so sorry. The train goes off the rails in a fiery explosion. It's the diner cart that you are in starts rolling. Fires everywhere. I need Schaloan and Jake both to roll 2d8s for me, please.
What?
So on the left side,
Mm-hmm.
where there should be like a symbol of a d20 on the left
Oh,
side.
on the map screen? Sorry,
yep.
I was looking at my... Okay. Of the dice?
Yep. And you'll see like d4, d6 list. But then you'll see a 2 to the right of it. Click 2 next to the D8, so it rolls 2d8.
The D8 2. Got it.
I never knew that. It's so handy.
Yeah, right.
So, as this train derails and starts rolling in a fiery inferno, Valerian and Cass manage to find their way to dive through the windows, tuck and roll, and walk away unscathed.
It's my low center of gravity.
And then Luminora will take 6 points of damage, and unfortunately, Jake, your character will take 12 points of damage.
Oof.
So where it shows your HP there in the middle, you'll just click it down 12.
Where it says 27? Or
Yep.
whatever? Yeah, okay.
Is my symbiotic entity still intact?
You still had temporary hit points from last session, right?
Yeah, I had full because I renewed it.
Then yes.
And it was 6?
Yeah, so does that mean you take half?
She just takes 6 off of her temp HP.
Right, so it's down to 10.
Oh, yeah. So all that happens, you kind of gather yourselves, and you notice you're at the foot of the mountains. Still a little bit of a hike to get to Corona Peak, though.
Could you ping that on our map here?
Yep.
Okay.
So you're about right here.
Gotcha.
So right about where we're basically just crossing into the Mirror Holds territory.
Yep, you're at the foot of the Iron Root Mountains. Iron Root. Depending on how you want to say that word.
And we're going where?
To the star.
Just right there.
Oh, that's not too far.
Yeah, until you realize that it's actually like 20 some miles.
So, at the top of, like on top of that, I need everyone to give me an investigation check as well.
Damn. I am just rolling with those nat ones today.
That is and I get to add a D4.
15.
Also 15.
So, with a 15, as you kind of gather yourselves and you're looking around, there's just bodies mangled, lots of corpses, and a fiery wreckage.
Can I can Valerian look around to see if he can find the High Sister?
Give me another investigation check, and I also want Jake to give me another investigation check.
Fuck. Wow.
Dude. Can I get some real physical dice?
So with a nat 1, Valerian just sees the horror of everything that happened. Can't find the High Sister, but sees all of the death. And knows what it means because of his connections. With an 18 for Jake's character, he does see the High Sister. Not too far from him. With that, Jake, what do you do as you see her body? Because you see her chest and shoulders like slowly rise, slowly fall. Like she's breathing, but she's mangled. Like there's no way she's going to survive.
Could Valerian like have followed him?
Well,
I thought she was already dead from...
Yeah, I broke her neck.
Yeah, these are like final breaths.
Okay.
Like, do you shout out to the party? Do you just go over by yourself, or do you just let her die alone?
Die alone? Maybe just go over there and like crouch down next to her and like watch her die.
Valerian
don't
shouts,
tell
has
anyone.
anybody seen the Night Sister or the High Sister?
But you don't say anything to anyone else from the party, Jake?
Sure. I could say over here. Are you trying to get me to say something specific?
No, I want to
Like you
know.
are.
I want to know how you think you would react based on your character.
Based on my character, I don't think I would say anything to anybody. I think I would just go crouch down and watch the bitch die.
As Cass, I'd like to go look for the other assassin. The first one that I knocked out or killed.
Yeah, you killed both of them, right?
Yep.
Technically, yeah. Cass, give me an investigation check. And while that is happening, and Jake is crouching down next to the High Sister, she's taking her final breath, and you're just watching her die.
That's a 6.
She looks up to you, and because of your investigation check, she makes eye contact with you and says, "Mother says hello." And because of your check, you know that means that you're now marked for death. With Cass's investigation check, there's plenty of bodies just on fire. They were thrown from the train. You can't tell which crushed skull is the other assassin or just someone that just was very unlucky.
Alright, so I'm going to go over, and since I saw that, she didn't stick the landing, I'm going to go see how Luminora is doing.
How who is doing? I'm sorry.
What's that?
You want to go? You said because she didn't stick the landing, you want to go check and see how who is doing?
Luminora.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I was about to go look for people once all this.
Yeah, but I can see her probably like trying to stand up now and dust, and I'm like, so I'm going to come over and see how she's doing after that. You okay?
Yeah, I'm nothing but a scratch. How are you? Are you all right?
Tuck and roll, baby. Tuck and roll.
Did you not try that? Or
No, I don't.
I mean, I've got a couple little.
For Valerian, who just got tossed. Oh no, he survived. My bad.
Steven, in case you forgot, I got a nat 1, okay? No, I don't think to tuck and roll.
oh, I didn't forget.
Fuck, look out. Tossed.
Yeah, so I'm doing fine. There's crazy people got a couple minor stabs in on me, but I'm fine. I think our first bet, probably need to gather up what supplies we can find real quick, and then we gotta start making our way up the mountain.
Yes, let's do that and find the others and continue our journey where our destination should have been.
Yeah. It seemed like Valerian knew the one.
Oh, you froze.
Oh, it's like
No, I think that's just where he ended his sentence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was
It looked like he completely froze. He didn't move. There was no noise.
you think it looked like Valerian knew one of those assassins.
Should we search out the assassins and see?
I couldn't find the one's body.
So, let's try to find them. Let's see if they even have any good loot on them or something. Am I in a close enough area where I am right now to maybe do a check for the one Cass was looking for first, since we're over here?
Yeah, give me an investigation check. With advantage because you're right near Cass.
How do I do that with advantage?
It'll automatically
It'll
roll.
auto do it.
Okay,
You'll just take the higher of the two.
so 13.
There's a lot of burnt and mangled corpses.
how fucked up can I get with this kind of stuff?
As fucked up as you want.
Dope. So this chick just
I love it.
she said something to me that you and I know, whatever. And
Yeah, she says,
that-
mother says hello, and that means that you're marked.
but she's died. She's like dead. Like
Oh,
she's about.
that
That
was
was her
her
last
final
dying
words.
breath.
Yeah.
So I'm pissed. And everybody else has not seen me or her at the
I was
moment.
just gonna ask if I could roll something to see if like I'd noticed like him deliberately going towards something.
I would very much like to cut her head off, and like be holding it in my hand when if anyone finds me.
No need for a roll for that, because I think that sounds intimidating.
Well, she's already dead, so it's
Fuck.
not like an attack, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
What sort of...
Because I imagine if she was like said something like that to me, and I already knew what it meant.
Yeah, I
I'm
would
pissed
say
off. But if she's
give
already
me,
dead, like
let's just say give me a dexterity roll to see how convincing... Oh, yep. Okay. You make it look like the head was just ripped off from the wreckage.
good at that.
Valerian, if you still want to do a perception check,
Yes.
I'm telling you right now, it's going to be very high, like a nat 20, or with your bonus, higher than 20. Okay. You see him, and he stands up with the decapitated head. Decapitated head. Strong.
Hunk.
Of the High Sister.
I walk over to him.
What do you say?
I look at the head, and he says, "She died far too kindly." And then I ask him where the rest of her body is.
Okay. I throw the head at his feet and say, "You're welcome," and then I point behind me to her headless body on the ground.
Before he goes to the headless body, Valerian kicks the head. Like,
That got dark so fast.
I mean, if you want to make, I'll make a strength check, even though I have like a negative something on there. But I will kick that fucking head as hard as humanly possible.
And break your toe. Did you
I
know
was-
that?
That one coming.
Did you know? Did you know?
Sorry.
See how
I'm
far
sorry.
you kick it.
You want strength or athletics?
Either or. I'll let you decide.
Where the fuck is my strength? Cool, I'm -1 in each. Okay. Wow. Yeah, cool. 16.
That's a pretty good soccer kick.
I mean, yeah. As Jake's character is walking away, you kick it about the same distance, but not towards him. So, like, he hears thud in a roll and looks over.
And then
Sees
you
a head
maybe
roll.
asked me what my name was.
Oh, hey, I should probably do that. I'm kind of blinded by rage at the moment, so Valerian walks over to the body and can he do I think it's survival, I want to say, and just see if he can kind of search her headless body.
Let's do an investigation check to see what are you looking for? What are you trying to do with this headless body?
I want to see if she's got any, written. I mean, see if
Investigation.
she, see what's on her, but just kind of do like a general like pat down to see like, oh hey, she's got a key or she's got specifically thinking, trying to see if she's got any like written orders or contact names or a
Yeah, investigation check.
okay. 16.
So with the 16, as you're searching the body, first off, you find 250 gold,
Dope.
but you do find a scroll. You find more than one scroll with a 16.
Okay.
And there's 2 scrolls. One has your name on it, your full name.
I don't even know my full name.
It's written down. That's on you. You find your full name, a list of places that you've been in the last 6 months, as well as a copy of the letter that you sent through your channels from Griffinclaw.
Ooh. But it's not the letter, it's just like a copy of it.
Yeah, but it's like word for word. So you know that whoever,
like somebody's read this at least.
Yeah, then copied it, and you can only assume that they sent it off to multiple people.
Damn.
The other scroll
okay.
has Luminora's name on it.
Anything else on there, or just her name?
Same sort of thing.
Okay.
Multiple months of like major cities that she's been in, places that she's been. And
can you give me like just one of them? One of those cities?
That you wouldn't already know about?
Just like, and like, yeah, just like 6, you know, the first one on the list or something.
The first one on the list from 6 months ago is Stonefeather Spire.
Okay. Stun Feather? Spire?
Stone Feather.
Stone, I'm sorry. Okay.
Spire. For, within the last 6 months. But also, you see another name on that scroll. Caranthas of House Coriel.
Coriel?
Coriel.
Okay.
You recognize the name as a diplomat from the Silverwood. The same diplomat that you were trying to reach at the King's Name Day.
I see. Okay. The plot thickens. I love it. Okay. Is that all of them? Or?
Yes. So as you go through the wreckage, you have these 2 scrolls. What's everyone doing? Are you going to try and keep finding your way up to the Corona Peak?
Cass is just like in survival mode and just searching anything or anybody he finds on, no longer living, and, root up supplies and stuff.
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah, because I'm so good at those.
It's a low DC. Everybody's dead.
That is a 15.
As you're searching bodies, like you find rations, things like that, but you also find about 150 gold. Not about. You find 150 gold collectively over a few bodies. Anyone else?
Can I just kind of continue, like, broaden the search a little bit for the second assassin?
Yeah, give me another investigation check. If you're taking your time, I'll say with advantage.
I am taking my time.
Thank God you are.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
With a 15, you find a very burned corpse. But this... Jake, why? Just... with like a caved-in skull that almost has like a round centerpiece, almost like it was bashed in by something specific,
like by Cass.
You can assume it could be very unlucky that some random person on the train was thrown into like a doorknob, but you can assume that it's probably the assassin.
Can I? Is there anything left of her? To search or look around, maybe like the area she's in for anything?
Burnt to a crisp. I mean, like thrown from the train, so there's no like luggage or anything near her, or even like coin purses or anything. You find 50 gold on the body.
Okay.
I'd say by now Cass is starting to look for like where Valerian and the other guy is.
Valerian's probably after he picks
Next
up
person that sees me, ask me my name.
I'm about to.
Well, I'm trying to walk up to you. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, as soon as Valerian's done like looking, he's gonna go back to you. Like your hatred, your apparent hatred for this chick matches my own, so I consider you less of a mysterious hostile now. So it doesn't. If you want to ask him, Dave, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, while you're like saying that, Cass just walks up and goes, "So who the fuck are you?"
I'll just say Valerian's like close by.
My name is Lennox Fox, and my hate for you, Steven, my hate for you Valerian is equal to my hate for her.
What have I done to you, sir?
You know.
This is gonna be lots of fun.
Chad, do I know?
If you think about it.
History check.
I can think of a lot of possibilities. Can I do a history check? Because I have no idea.
You can.
I can think of about 10 different possibilities, but I don't know.
I'm right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
I have it pulled up on my screen. I'm like reading it as I'm.
yeah. So you say that, look over it, and say that the Valerian Cass is like, well, he's pissed me off a couple times, but obviously not as bad as you. They call me, I am Caster, and they call me Caster Flamebeard. How I got into all this, that's a really long story that we're probably going to need a lot more ale for first. But I suggest you make your way with us up to the Corona Peaks. It's probably the closest major settlement that we can get to.
I would take some ale, but I don't trust Valerian. And if he doesn't know who Ubuntu is, then I have some serious questions.
I feel like at this point, Luminora finds you guys, just walks up. She's here too.
So we're all just hanging
Chad,
out
you're
now
gonna
by
throw
a
me out here 'cause I-
decapitated body.
Hey, you
By a decapitated body. Yeah.
You walked into a whole ass scene.
Yeah, so when Luminora walks up, Cass reaches into his pocket, pulls out some coins, goes, I pay my debts, always do. And I give 50 gold back to Luminora and Valerian.
Luminora, not a nod, but kind of bows her head in gratitude for keeping your word, your promise.
So,
Valerian's just like, oh, thank you. Anyway, who are you?
So with a 7 on your history check,
Lennox.
Valerian,
maybe he hit his head in the crash.
the name, it like rings a bell, but you don't remember.
To Lennox?
Yeah, about.
Sorry, I'm sorry. To Valerian? The
Yeah,
name rings a bell?
When,
Okay.
No, when you said Ubuntu.
Okay, yeah. So that name rung a bell to Valerian.
It sounds familiar.
Okay.
But he doesn't fully know who that person is.
So then I would ask him, what does mother mean to you?
Another history check?
Yes.
Yeah.
Off the record, Jake. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. So.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I have my backstory in front of me that Chad and I kind of came up with together, and it
17, that's a lot better.
heavily involves you. We know
Great.
each other, you and
So
I.
with the 17, Valerian, First, I need you to check a text message. And as that, the name, Mother, even with the history check, I think that you kind of like freeze for a second. Afraid that your past is catching back up to you. With the 17, I'm not going to force you to divulge everything about it. But also with the 17, like, it's very visible to everyone else that the name, like, sprung something.
He asks... Yeah, because she didn't say anything. So, Valerian asks Lennox, did she send you?
And I would say,
like as he asks, he like puts a hand on his sword or his rapier. You know, just kind of like he's a little scared here. So he's like, you know, did she send you?
I would say you're the one who works for Mother, not me.
That is not my life anymore.
You were there. I saw you. I recognize your mask.
Wasting no time.
Well, clearly you two got something that you need to talk about.
Where was I?
Running with your tail between your legs. Even if I'm the one with the tail.
Can Luminora
I should've
ask
said
who
that.
the fuck is his mother?
I don't know who should answer that. You know who Mother is, right? He knows who Mother is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just found out about 10 seconds ago.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just... I'm finding out a lot of information myself here. Okay.
On my phone, you didn't have everything written down.
We never went over this.
So I would say ask him. He's the one who works for Mother. That way I don't have to answer that question.
That was a long time ago. I'm not the same man I once was. Like, his mask was already off, but, you know, he kind of, like, looks at the mask and, like, he puts it away. Just kind of, like, tucks it away so it's not, you know. A
Okay.
vile woman. Mother is a harbinger of evil. Of greed and corruption.
I'll
She
go with
is
you.
the very thing I seek to destroy.
I'll go with you, but you keep your distance from me.
Alright, so
Move things along a little bit since
we gotta figure out how we're gonna. What's the best way to get up there? We don't have any real means of transportation to make the rest of the way. I don't know how long it's going to be before House Orion sends somebody to investigate the rail. They're going to be super fucking pissed about this, and I wouldn't want to be here when they get here. So, any thoughts on best way? I mean, guessing we can't really fabricate much. I mean, I can scout ahead, you know, if we need to. But
Valerian's gonna. I mean, he's kind of reeling at the moment, but he casts a find familiar to call Edgar J. Hoover.
It's his familiar, which is an owl.
also,
For those just joining, and also for
I was
Jake.
like, say what?
it also takes like an hour to cast that spell.
Yeah, I figured it'll be longer than that with our travel time here.
Luminora says to Cass, don't you know these lands well?
I mean, I know it well enough to get us. Probably we can follow what's left of the rail easy enough up to Krona. It's just a matter of getting there fast enough. I mean, I can get myself there quickly, and one other person maybe, but
Is there snow? So we're in the mountains, right? Or we're at the foothills of the mountains?
we're at like the base of the Ironroot Mountains.
Is this a snowy mountain? Is this cold?
It's probably, I'd say, like
We're kind of like in the summertime, with we're in the month of Nim, which is like the late Nim, so like late June. So it's not super snowy unless you like go through the peaks.
But we need to go over the mountains, correct?
No, Corona Peak's on this side of the ridge.
My bad.
And then there's tunnel systems and trails from there to make it easier.
How long would it take us to get to Corona Peak on foot?
Probably looking at half a day to a day's walk, maybe.
Yeah,
What time is it now?
where you're at, about a half day.
What time of day is it?
Midday?
So we're the star,
Like
and we
early
need to go to Corona Peak, right?
the start is Corona Peak. You're just
Right behind it. Okay, I
below
see
it,
it.
yeah.
I see. Okay. My bad.
Yeah. Each one of those like hexes is roughly like 50 miles per
Okay.
scale. So
Luminora asks Cass, how is Gilly?
oh, she's fine. I didn't have her out, so I can bring her out if we need her. But again, that's why I can take two people at a better pace. But
Bring her out. What the fuck's a ghillie?
It's like a puppy.
No, that was my character asking, because he said I could bring her out.
Oh.
So I'm saying, bring her out. What's a ghillie? That's why an
Gotcha.
accent makes sense. I get it. To differentiate.
Cass lays out his shield, which has his kind of family crest / holy symbol, takes a knee down, and then I will use my channel divinity to cast Find Steed. And you see almost coming out of like the sunlight, just like, like a flicker and coming down towards the ground. You swear you already hear hoofbeats before it even gets to the ground, and just careens in and comes running up next to Cass is a giant ram, like the size of a horse.
Just like a puppy.
This is Gilly.
Man.
Eh. Careful with her though. She doesn't like you. She'll kick you.
So how is this supposed to help us? There's only one ghillie.
Well, that's what I said. I could carry two. Myself and one other could probably ride Gilly, but we would need, ways for the other two of us to travel.
Are bugbears fast? Isn't my speed like pretty up there?
Pretty average.
Oh, that's lame.
It's okay, Jake. You're perfectly average.
Fuck.
Can you tell my mom that?
Luminora, if you took a little time to rest, would you be able to change into anything that could travel faster?
Like a puppy.
Side part here. I think a dire wolf?
I mean, you're level 4, so I don't know what the CR limit is on wild shape at that point, but because it's kind of important. My roll 20 is not running well. I need to refresh it, I think, the whole browser. But let me go to D&D
I
Wiki.
think it's CR half.
Let's see, classes, artificer, so druid.
Second level.
So you're 4th level.
She could do a warhorse.
Yeah, wild shape. So CR, one half with, but it can't have a flying speed. So that could be, yeah.
Warhorse, shark.
But does that come back on a short rest? Like if you guys take like an hour?
Wild shapes come back on a short rest.
They do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if while you guys catch your breath, you want to wait for 45 minutes or so?
Wouldn't be the worst idea.
Could do that.
It'd be up to you, Luminara, if you're willing to carry one of them. But I don't know how long you can maintain that.
I think it's I think it's
only
only
a couple of hours.
yeah, it's only like 2 hours.
Well,
I
So we
think
get
we're
there
wasting
faster.
3 hours, but you could just like start heading off and take 6 or 8 hours and just get there on foot.
yeah, stay in beast shape for a number of hours equal to half your druid level rounded down. So yeah, so 2 hours wouldn't be that much faster than walking, and because you can only travel for 4 hours total between the two wild shapes. It would cut down a little time, but not a lot. And then you'd also be exhausted from no more wild shapes.
Yeah, it would save you like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't need to take a break. You guys keep doing your thing, but girlfriend wants me to take the dog out. Baby's sleeping on her and she can't do it, and the dog's asking to go out.
Yep.
Keep going. I'll be back in like 1 or 2 minutes. Take me a very little time.
All right, so I guess 4 of us and Gilly can just walk. I mean, if there's anything we want to pack up, Gilly can help carry it for us at least.
If we brought the head and found somebody that could cast Speak with the Dead, that'd work.
Yeah, if you can find somebody who can find somebody powerful enough to cast that.
Is there a time limit on Speak with the Dead?
For what? How long they've been dead?
Yeah.
No.
I think dead is dead, Chad. I'm gonna bring the head. Valerian finds the head that he kicked and just kind of like uses the hair, I guess, and just ties it onto side of Gilly's like saddlebags or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, Gilly wants no part of that thing.
Valerian carries it on his own belt. But he's also got like a little like towel or something over it, so it doesn't, it's not like just a straight up dead head looking thing.
Think there's a bounty on her head? Unintended.
I think it's far worse than that.
Well, I'm just saying, proof of her being dead might also help be another financial boon to us at this time.
Very clever.
I've told you I'm a survivor. Anything practical. Hell, if we had the time and a tool, I'd say we should build some kind of cart to just have Gilly tow, but I don't think we have the tools or means for that right now. It'll be something we look into in the future. Just get a cart for the 3 of us, or 4 of us, or I don't know what the hell he's doing. But
Well, he seemed to want to come with us. I didn't know if we should allow that or.
he doesn't seem to have a problem with me or Luminara. He just seems to be really pissed at you.
Well, he seems to have knowledge of things he shouldn't know about.
Well, that seems to be something you and he need to discuss. I need to get back up to Corona Peak to figure out if the Dalkir have actually broken through the realm below and started overrunning parts of the Moorholds. So, yeah, I know you agree, Gilly. So Cass is just gonna like climb on Gilly so he has a better view. Look around, see if there's anybody else who's actually still alive.
Give me an investigation check.
And Gilly help.
Yeah, I'll say with advantage.
I gotta refresh my roll 20 because it's like not opening any windows now. At least it doesn't interrupt our voice chat now. Alright, let's see. Alright, so investigation. That is a 17.
So with that, you see a few people very much hurt, but getting to their feet and trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. Because when the assassins entered that Tyner car, everyone saw it coming and left. So they were in their cabins or in different carts. So there's a few survivors that you're finding. They're getting up to their feet, but they're hurt. Sorry for the interruption, dear heroes, but I just have to ask. Are you like me and my friends, where your food tends to be lacking just a little something extra? If you are, then look no further than Crybaby Craig's hot sauce to fix all of your spicy and saucy needs. Because this pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce will go on practically anything. It was started by Craig himself in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, and this sauce has become a staple of all hot sauces and flavor enhancers across the lands for many, many moons. If you don't believe me, go and check out crybabycraigs.com and order yours today to, quite frankly, just better your life. Or at least your taste buds. But be sure to let them know that we sent you and enjoy the best damn hot sauce there is. Now, let's get back to the show.
Alright, Cass is just gonna go over to them, help them, stabilize them if you can, and just be like, we're gonna be heading off, make the rest of the way to Corona Peak soon. You guys can either follow behind, or you can wait here to see if House Orion sends out somebody to investigate the disaster.
I'm gonna go with to Corona Peak.
Most of the survivors are scared at this point in time, so they want to wait for officials because they're commoners.
Okay.
So you guys make your way up to Corona Peak. It's picturesque. It's beautiful foothills of mountains. Cass, you're noticing that they look just like what you remember from doing supply runs and everything like that as a young dwarf. Not much has changed. You guys make your way to Corona Peak. You get there. You see the train station and everything going on. And the only thing that's really different from what you would recognize from your childhood is, think a lot of, if you go to an airport now, there's the Uber pick up and drop off at the stations. So there's carts there waiting to go. They're holding signs as to different cities that they can take you to within the Moorholds. And one of them says Frostmantle.
There's a name I haven't seen in a while. But I don't know if we need to go there right now. Because I don't know if I still know anybody there. I think our best bet, our first bet...
Give me a history check.
I don't get the extra one. That's a 16. Or no, I'm sorry, that is a 9. Yep, that would be a 9.
You can't be sure that there'd be family left, but before you went away, disappeared, whatever, your brother did have a family.
I think our first bet order, get ourselves patched up, rested before we go anywhere else. Now, since we're here at Corona, I don't know if we need to. I think we need to figure out what's going on here first, and if it's not going on here, then I wouldn't mind going down to Frostmantle. But that's a good ride. It would take a while for us to get there from here.
So you guys want to stay at an inn?
Yeah, I'd look for like a
Lodging.
low end, whatever the market hospitality, like their low end place, just someplace I know would be safe, but not necessarily, I'm not going for any Ritz here.
Okay. I mean, there's a handful of inns ranging from like 2 to 5 gold for like your equivalent of like motel that could house you all.
But overall, the city doesn't seem to be that different. Nothing, no, obvious overrun or issues.
No, not that you can really see. I mean, the suburban areas, like housing and stuff like that has expanded, but there's not a lot of like large city growth or any sort of like disarray that you can notice.
Well, it's a good sign that the city's still here and functioning. I mean, it's the largest city in the Moorhold, so I say we get some sleep, get some rest, and we figure out where we want to go next. Yeah, because incidentally, like Chrono Peak's like a city of like 25,000.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's one of the larger cities. It's not like Sharn, but it's still a good size.
So you find a nice-ish motel.
Yep.
Type thing to stay at. And it's 3 gold per person to stay for the night.
I'm gonna sleep outside.
Seems doable.
Just curl up.
Works.
If you're gonna do that, you could just curl up on the floor in my room if you want a little warmer.
I'm good. I'm gonna keep an eye out here.
All right. Thought I'd at least make the offer there, Lennox.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you guys camp out. Everybody gets a long rest. The next morning you wake up. What are you wanting to do?
Valerian's probably going to go talk to Luminora.
This is the next morning.
Yeah.
Okay. I will have caught breakfast.
Okay. Give me a survival or a nature check.
Is that in my skills?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Okay. Which one do you suggest? I don't know well enough to.
It should have a number next to one of them.
Okay, yeah. 3 for survival, 0 for nature. We'll go survival.
And we're going to say DC 10. You found enough of street animals, rats, and from garbage that's been tossed out, of still viable food for your breakfast.
As Cass is waking up, he'll probably go down to the proprietor of the inn, or tavern or whatever we're staying at, and just kind of ask what is the big news of the day, or anything really interesting going on in the last few days.
Not so much in the past few days. I mean, what are you looking for?
If there's been any kind of real major disturbance in the holds, and maybe even further back in a couple months.
Over the past couple of months, I mean, there's been talks from the Northern Throne that rumblings have been happening, but news from small villages near the Carador Gap and Frostmantle have really been trying to keep that under check.
When he says, Noldra Throne, Cass gets a visible shiver.
you okay, friend?
I have a bad experience there. Long time ago.
There have been rumors, but it's very dormant. But sometimes there's rumbles and shakes from that region, but nothing nefarious has really come from there in the past month or so. Officially.
Yeah, well, that place was always a little too close to Sol Udar for my liking. I was worried that something was going to come up from there.
He just kind of like catches his breath, swallows, and nods.
I've had
Give me a perception check first, Cass.
yeah, not gonna go well. Cass is not very perceptive. But
Oh, look at that.
With a 19, though, as he kind of like gulps, nods, as he starts to turn, you see like a shimmer of like glossiness that covers his eyes. And then it's gone.
like a flash in it, like almost like a glaze,
Like a glaze.
but not like he was just staring off, but something else.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's trying to keep it quiet. I am going to then, just as a precaution, use a thing of divine sense.
Give me the terminology of that.
So, presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. So, it's basically kind of like a pulse. I know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Yes, you smell it.
So, I know there's something within 60 feet. I know the direction, but I don't know, like, how strong it is. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell a skeleton from a vampire lord. I would just know that there, you know what I mean? There's just undead or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I would know what it is, but I wouldn't know how strong or whatever.
It's a fiend, since you would know.
In what direction?
Directly from the innkeep.
Like, so straight behind me, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I appreciate your time. Cass just gonna stand up and finish a drink, and then just turn around to make his way out and try to look straight behind where he was sitting, see what he sees.
So what he sees is almost like a shimmer surrounding the innkeep.
Freaky.
So there's like I saw the shimmer on the innkeeper's eye. So when I turn around, what do I see? Is there somebody else behind me, or just like a blur?
It's just a blur. Almost like most of that fiendish entity was at the innkeeper.
Yeah, I want to. Seeing that blur and everything, I want to see if I can see through any potential illusions, which is investigation versus their spell DC.
Okay.
And I do get the D4 on investigation. That is not good. That's only a 4.
Oof.
Yeah. I know something's there, but I have no clue where it is. But sensing what I sense, I'm gonna make my way. I'm guessing Luminora and Valerian stayed in the tavern as well, or the inn.
I did anyway.
Yeah, well, Valerian was gonna talk to Luminora, so I'm just here, I guess, just waiting for that, for what Steven said, I guess. Just, yeah, we're here. I'm here.
I have the problem. It's me.
Yeah, Valerian just kind of looks for Luminora and finds her doing whatever it is she's doing, and like, kind of.
What are you doing this morning?
What are you doing, Lumi?
So we're at an inn, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
This inn has like a tavern restaurant type thing.
It's like a B&B,
At least
continental breakfast
next
maybe?
door.
Okay, she's just gonna be in her room. She's awake. She's dressed. Everything's fine, and she's sitting on her bed, kind of like with her back against the headboard, feet propped up, and she has one of her daggers, and she is kind of just has it. She's holding it with one hand. The tip is on the other, and she's kind of just like twirling it, just almost like she's thinking and examining the dagger.
Then she hears a knock at the door.
And also, which dagger?
The dagger that it was her mother's dagger that she inherited, and it seemed to glow when they encountered the assassins on the train. And when she hears the knock on the door, she just asks, "Who is it?"
It's Valerian. Are you decent?
Decent enough. Come on in.
Shame. He walks in.
Wow.
Ding shame. Ding shame.
As sad as he is to see her fully clothed, he walks in and kind of does away with his usual kind of like a upbeat charm, and I'm just gonna assume there's like a chair or something that's like next to the bed, and he sits down and he pulls out a scroll from his little pocket and says, "There is something very grave I need you to be aware of. While I was searching the High Sister's decapitated body, I came across a rather interesting morsel." And then I just kind of like toss the scroll over to her.
She picks it up and opens it.
She sees her name, and
You see your name.
I assume you could tell that it's
Wondering, I didn't know which scroll you might have.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The scroll with her name on it. That's got like her past previous locations, and it's, pretty obvious that like it's like tracking information.
And you also see Coranthus of House Ear Coriol.
Was that on the
Written
same
on
one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's on Luminora's scroll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you found this on...
The body of the High Sister.
Decapitated body of the High Sister.
Yes.
So this has
Headless
past
body.
months of my locations, or Luminora's locations.
Yeah, it's like everywhere you've been in the past 6 months.
Does it just have that one name on it?
Other than your name and your past locations, that's the only other name.
So it doesn't have any past locations of Coranthus?
Nope.
It's just Luminora?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She asks Valerian, why is this grave? And what more do you know about these people? That they might have my whereabouts for the past 6 months.
Well, if Mother sent to look for you, it would only mean one thing. It means your life is, well, your life may very well be forfeit. What I can't figure out is why Mother would want you dead.
And who is Mother?
Years ago,
Can I be listening to this conversation?
Give me a stealth check.
Oh, what? Stealth?
Yeah. Because you wouldn't have been invited into the room, so you'd be sneaking.
Obviously, yeah. She's fully clothed. Why would anybody be there?
17. Yeah, you're in the hallway.
I can like pick up some stuff at least, like words like mother.
Yeah, when you hear like words that connect.
Okay. Not hearing the whole conversation, but enough to make my tail wag.
You're getting the gist of things, yeah.
Shit, where was I?
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
So I asked who is mother, or who is this mother?
Valerian takes like a kind of a deep breath and like settles into his chair, and kind of gives that 1,000-yard stare. And with a sigh, he starts his little story. He says, "Long ago, ages ago, really, I worked for a network, an organization, we'll call it. They called themselves the Syndicate. All manner of evil doing, but I'll save those vile stories for another time. The leader of this organization is known only as Mother. And when she wants a target, their lifespan shortens considerably. The girl on the train is known as the High Sister. She's one of her wretched underlings. An assassin, heartless, cold-blooded, purely exists to carry out the Mother's bidding, take lives." Valerian's like, you can see him like fidgeting with his hands. Like, this is not like a happy conversation. Like this is not like a joyful retelling of his life story here. I knew I would see her again. I knew she'd come after me. But I don't know why she would want to kill you. She did almost kill me once, but I barely escaped. And then like I show her like a big scar that I got across my like shoulder.
Luminora sets down her mother's dagger that she has and kind of like leans forward onto her knees there. Tell me more about your escape and how did you escape? And why did you want to?
Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry. For many years, I worked for this organization. And then they told me to do something that I simply couldn't do. I was sent with this woman for a specific purpose, and that purpose changed, unbeknownst to me. Although I suspect that was always the plan. And when I refused the order, the High Sister quickly turned on me. I wasn't strong enough then to stop her. All I could do was flee.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, you're good.
You please go.
Is that who gave you the scar? The High Sister.
Yes.
Okay.
When I wouldn't carry out the Mother's bidding, I was branded as a traitor. Immediately. And I was marked for death.
Can I fucking
Lennox? Yeah.
Can I enter this room now that I've like heard him say mother like multiple times, and like take the scroll out of her hand because she's holding it now, and recognize the markings on the scroll?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I need to like click anything to do that?
Well, when you said recognize the markings on the scroll, because Valerian just spoke about what is written on the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
But you also heard him tell this story.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do with the scroll as you snatch it?
Valerian definitely gets his dagger out. Just saying. Yo, what the fuck?
I don't want to fight. My character does not want to fight. I don't want to get. I don't want to get
Role
killed off
play
right
the
away.
escalation.
I want to snatch the scroll, read it, and say that I recognize the markings, and ask him what he knows about the deaths of Ubuntu and Avi. Avi?
However you want it to be.
I don't. That's how I read it. Was Abi sounds more feminine. Obi
Mhm.
sounds yeah. So that's what I did. Kick the door open, snatch the scroll, ask you what you know about the deaths of Ubuntu and Avi.
Off the record, I had no fucking clue who those people are.
Sorry, I did. I fucked up on connecting everyone.
I was like, not my homework. I did my homework.
They
You
are
did.
people. They were people. Can I do like another like history check?
Can we just tell him who they
Yeah.
are so he can? Yeah, they're my parents.
Yeah, do it and do a history check. Very low DC.
Me or him?
Valerian.
History.
Actually, you don't even have to roll for that.
I got a 7 anyway. So I'm glad to have wasted a little.
I'm glad that I said you didn't need it because I was going to set it at like an 8 or a 10. You recognize the names, but it was not a mission that you were sent on by Mother or the syndicate. But you recognize the names.
Do I know where I recognize the names from? Or is
See,
it
now
just...
I'm lost too because
Come on, DM.
And it's at this moment, Cass walks in to break up the awkward pause.
good things, Cass.
Thank you. You recognize the names, but you're shamed by it.
So I like I know what he's talking about, or like,
You do,
According
but
to
you
my
want to cover
notes.
your own ass.
or it's like that, dude in 8th grade that I called fat, and I don't really remember him, but like I remember the name.
Boy, am I glad I called that guy. Oh, and Steve just lost video.
Uh-oh.
I'm still here.
Well, at least we can hear you. That's the important part.
It's like I'm here.
So my understanding is that we all have different backstories that run into each other, but we don't know what those backstories are, correct? Only you know what those backstories are? Okay.
Does he know? I don't know. I'm starting to wonder. Just kidding.
I think he does.
You're doing great,
This
Sam.
is,
I'm
at
just
least
kidding.
from what I'm reading, it's very detailed. So you may not know, but I also don't know.
Again, it's about this point in time, Cass comes storming in with his shield and staff drawn, looks at you guys and goes, "Everything's fucked. We gotta get out of here."
Oh shit.
That cue and just immediately hops up and says, "Right, let's crack on."
Her dagger. Grabs her belongings.
Lennox puts his finger in Valerian's chest and says, "This isn't over," and takes the scroll and puts it in his pocket.
Luminora scroll.
What was that?
Luminora scroll.
Yeah, I took it out of your hands when I kicked the
And
door
you
in.
put it in your pocket?
Yeah, I put it in my pocket. It's my scroll now. Again, I'm not here to fight anybody.
She's not gonna fight you or anything.
Huh?
She's not. Okay, hold on. 1 second. She'd be like, my scroll.
Mine?
Mine?
And I would say, "This is my scroll."
Is there any check I can try to do to get the scroll back?
You can give me an intimidation check.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what I'm going to do with this scroll. I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time ever playing.
I threw you into a fucked
You're
up
doing great,
situation.
buddy.
13.
What would be a good counter check for that?
It'd be like a wisdom. raw wisdom check.
Yeah, Linux, give me a raw wisdom check.
Raw. What is that under?
So it's just under, like on the far left, there's the attributes. You can just click on the word wisdom.
Not under skills, but
Right next
even
to the
further
skills.
left.
further left. Oh, wisdom. Okay.
They have like
So
their
just-
own little like badge symbols.
So just the wisdom one. Just click on it.
Yeah, just click on the word wisdom.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, that's in that one.
Somehow, as this 5'4" half elf with two different colored eyes stands up and goes, "My scroll. You, 6'5", cowers." And it's like, "I'm sorry," and hands it back.
Yeah, it's like what's his face in Vox Machina. Here you go, buddy. Here you go, buddies.
She does have a piercing silver eye and a piercing gold eye. So that could be kind of intimidating, right?
Intimidated, clearly. Gave it back to you.
You just say intimidated,
She's scary.
not intimidated.
All right, but we've got a big problem.
Yes, Luminora kind of like grabs the scroll and kind of does like a little march or something. See, pay attention to
The bartender's possessed, and somewhere in the area is a fiend. This place may be more overrun than it looks.
Did we lose Steven?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I
I can
hear
hear.
you.
Okay, yeah, I don't. It's everything's like kind of. You guys are still moving, but it's telling me that, I don't know. Everything else is frozen, but I can still see you and hear you. So
Okay,
Luminora.
good enough.
Luminora says, I'm sorry, you said the bartender's possessed?
Yep. He's got some kind of like charm glare in his eyes. Seems to be intentionally leaving out information. And when I tapped into some of my abilities, I was able to sense that there was a fiend in the area. I couldn't see where they were. They're probably using some kind of illusion or something to hide, but there is a fiend in there.
Off the record here. What is that?
A fiend is like a devil.
Ooh.
Demon
Oh,
devil. Yeah.
oh hell no. Let's go.
Oh hell no.
Are we about to fight this?
No. I don't know what it is. I don't know how strong it is. If it is a true,
nothing stronger than you, Cass Flamebeard.
yeah, well, you'd be surprised. I don't know what it is. I don't want to just blindly charge in and all of a sudden run into some pit fiend from the 9th level and just be a stain on its boot. So we got to get out of here. Bartender was saying something down closer to Frostmantle. There's things going on. There's an old abandoned city called Noldra Throne. Possible issues there, but I don't think we're safe here in Chrono Peak. Frostmantle, I don't know what status it's in, but I might know some people there. If there's, maybe. It's been a long time. But it's probably a better place to go than staying here.
Luminora with her pack, she had it on one shoulder and she throws it over the house. She said, "You lead, I follow." She's ready to get out of there.
Cheerio, time to go.
And then Steve, that's
What a
completely
good
out.
time for him to cut out at the end of a sentence. I mean,
Steven.
good for him.
And it's gone.
But you know, as you're leaving the inn, there's still plenty of carts. You see it. Some of them have signs for different nearby, well, nearish by villages and towns. One of them does have the frost mantle sign, going that way.
You heading down to Mirror Lake and Frost Mantle?
I am. One gold per person.
That's it? All right. That's easy enough. You three okay with that?
Indeed.
Better than staying here.
I've got a companion who could help pull the cart if need be. And he walks up.
Shit.
Meantime, though, I can ride. I'll ride alongside. The other three can ride in the cart.
Well, if you're just gonna ride along, can't really charge you for my services. It wouldn't be right.
Yeah, well, just consider it a free escort. Things that seem like they're getting interesting around here.
Are we getting Steven back?
He's back in roll 20, so Chad might have to let him back into Zoom at some point, but
He hasn't tried to join, so. Oh.
Zoom hates me tonight.
yeah.
I forwarded the link.
All right, before we get going with this guy, how does he look when I say there's things are getting interesting? Does he react at all, or?
He looks like an innocent merchant. He's there to do a job. No glazy eyes, no anything beyond that.
But we're not killing this guy.
I wasn't worried about that. I was more worried about him calling friends or something else. All right, it's gonna take us a while to get down to Frost Mantle. That's not a short trip, so whenever you three are ready, if there's anything else you need to get while we're in town, hopefully you can pretty much buy anything you wanted in this place if you can find it. Should have almost everything here. It's one of the biggest cities on the continent.
I'm ready to hit the road.
So as you guys
check on Steven.
I resent the invite link. I don't know what's going on with that.
I feel like he can hear us because he's like commenting. Hold on. Do you need?
It says unable to rejoin this meeting is what he's getting. He posted.
Oh my god, you're actually offering my services with how much shit you talk about how I'm mediocre? Oh no. That's okay. So over the next
that is
4
270.
I'll just go get myself school.
Do you
over the
need
next,
to go just get him back on real quick?
Yeah, so
I think he's wobbling in here.
Take us about 6 days to get to Frost Mantle.
and they're smooth sailing.
Yes. Okay. Hey, Wobbles.
I mean, some days are overcast, some days are like light rain and stuff like that. But you're able to get down to Frost Mantle pretty easily.
Keep saying that
Watch out for that.
kicked me over your
Bonus, so you can
Yeah, I can still make rolls.
roll. Okay, cool.
No.
Does this happen often, Dave?
No, this is a first. But this is also the first time that they've been here for this. Okay. So, it takes about 6 days. 5 or 6 days. We'll say 6 because some days we'll have some rain and overcast and stuff like that as you make your way down to Frostmantle. But as you make your way into the town of Frostmantle, I'm gonna kick my dog out of the room. Also, I swear to God, if she shits on the floor in retaliation for me locking her out of the room, I'm just gonna have a really unique coffee table. So after about 6 days, you guys make your way down to Frostmantle. Oh, that's going good. You get off the cart, you're starting to walk around. I would assume, tell me if I'm wrong, that Cass would go to where he's familiar. Like the family forge that used to be there.
Oh yeah, I'm just curious to see if there's anything. This is for the other three. This Frostmantle is a very small little village. This is the quintessential one traffic light kind of small town on the very, very southern tip of a lake. Classic dwarven, a lot of mining involved and stuff like that, but it's still a really small village as a whole, maybe a couple hundred people.
It's the town that would resist having traffic lights, but put in roundabouts. If I'm understanding that correctly.
I don't know if they're that progressive.
Stop signs it is. Cass, I need you to give me a perception check. It's a very low DC.
Nope, I'll get the guidance. That's only a 4. Unless Luminara gave me guidance, then it would be a 7.
Did she?
I can do that. Yes. Yeah. Wait, do I have it? I'm pretty sure I have it.
It's a cantrip.
It is a cantrip.
Or if someone wants to give a help action.
I will give the help action.
I've been very liberal with the help action, but for story's sake, I'll allow it this time.
So are we following this? So we're on our way to Frostmantle, correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
we're just pulling into Frostmantle now.
Oh, we're getting there. Okay, so I thought that this yellow trail was gonna show where we were. My bad.
No, the yellow trails are where the lightning rail train tracks are.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And you guys fucked all that up. Just kidding, you didn't do it.
You did it.
I know.
Hope nobody thinks we did it.
Okay, so we're there. We're pulling into Frostmantle.
Yeah, we're pulling into Frostmantle now. So if with the help action, then I would have, and guidance, I would have a 19.
Even with the 16 not using the guidance, is that a cantrip or a spell?
Cantrip.
Oh, well, then you get a 19 either way. As you pull in into town, but you're on the very southern part of the Mirror Lake. I know that it kind of turned into a river past that for a little bit. But as you're rolling into town, you get off of the cart. But as you're looking around, you do Cass sees a girl.
Ooh.
Light-colored hair, still tan from working every day. It looks a lot like Gilly. Not the ram.
I was like, wait,
Not
what?
the ram. Everyone else knows Gilly as a ram. But it looks like Gilly.
So Gilly is the ram is named after
Someone.
someone.
But this, she looks to be about the same age that you remember her as. Which makes no sense.
Yeah, because that was
300 years ago.
350 years ago.
Yeah. What do you do as you see this person?
So, walking up, still have my shield out and everything. I'm just like walking up to her. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Can I help you today?
I'm trying to look for some old friends. Some of the now I gotta remember the exact word of from my bio, just so I don't F it up.
Does Chad sound like Gilly as well?
Looking for some of the Lanarak clan.
She pauses for a second, looks at you, looks up and down based on your appearance, and she just casts her?
Yeah. How do you know that name?
My grandmother talked about you constantly.
My heart right now can't.
That would explain why you look like her, like Gilly.
Yeah. I'm Lily. Gilly's my grandmother. How... She didn't go into details, but how do you know her?
Oh, I grew up with her. I used to live around here. A long time ago. About 350 years to be exact.
There's no way you're that old.
Oh, you'd be surprised. When weird things happen to you, sometimes time doesn't seem to be a factor anymore.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Well,
but
are any of the Lanaraks still here?
You know Mima? You know Mima Gilly?
I do. Or I did. Like I said, I haven't seen her in about 350 years.
I didn't think that her stories made sense until just now.
Well, I don't know what she said. Probably something along the lines of, and one day he just disappeared.
As she got older, she refused to die because she said you would come back. Do you want to go see her?
She's held on this long, huh?
Constant care of nurses. But yeah.
She always was stubborn. I'll go. Show me the way.
So Lily. Perky young girl. Looks to be about 30. In Dwarven, she's like a teenager. Takes you back to the family home.
Yeah, for you, Jake, Cass looks like if he was a human, he probably looks like he's in like his early 20s.
Chad gave me a little. Chad actually sent me a message about a little bit of backstory about you.
Yeah. So yeah, Cass looks pretty young, but he's talking about like that he's been
Centuries ago.
through stuff centuries ago.
Yeah, I was just being a jerk by shaking my head because he said teenager, and I was like, no. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but dwarves age differently. They have the terrible 30s.
So Lily takes you back to the family home. There's a nurse present taking care of this old woman, wrinkled heavily in the face. No more bright blonde hair, just old looking woman. And as you enter the room, her eyes light up. The grayness that has now appeared in her eyes, you start to see a little bit of blue start to come back as she looks up and goes, "My sweet Flamebeard, you're home."
This is Schaloan.
You know I never liked you calling me that.
I know, but it was so fun, and I only meant it with love.
Well, it's kind of stuck for other reasons. You like
You
the
light
mohawk?
yourself on fire again?
Not intentionally. You like the mohawk? I kind of stopped. It's a lot easier to keep that than growing the hair out, and the short beards I think fits me better.
She reaches out a frail hand towards your face and says,
Yeah, I kind of just grab it and
"You don't look any older. Except for the scars."
yeah. I don't know. Maybe after 350, I just stopped aging.
The world hasn't been too kind to my Flamebeard, has it?
No. Where I went, unfortunately, trouble still followed me, and I'm worried it might have followed me back here again.
She weakly smiles, and a tear starts to roll down the side of her cheek. Partially out as the realization of the life that she didn't get to experience with you, but also the way that you're talking. She sees the same arrogant and cocky, but such a charming man that she loved in her youth. She takes a breath, inhales deeply, and through a shaky voice, she says, "My sweet caster, I only wish that you could have grown old in this world, seen it the way I did, and loved it all the same.
Cass would, like, just take her hand and hold it to his chest and go, Gilly, the world was always better with you in it. I don't know if it needed me as much. I seem to stir things up more than calm things down. But I need to know, what happened to the Lanarax?
He takes a deep breath. And she says, obviously your parents are gone. I'm sorry that you're learning this so many years later. Your brother and his wife are gone. But you have nieces and nephews and their kin. They know of you, but they're not fond of your memory. Mainly because your brother refused to speak of your disappearance. They think you abandoned them.
I can't seem that I blame him. Wasn't like I could communicate to anybody. But I wish I had the time to tell you all the stories of all the wonders and amazing things I have seen in my travels. You would have been speechless at some of the things. A phoenix the size of this continent, soaring through the stars. Dragons and creatures the size of one of our moons. And some other things that are just plain weird that would have made you laugh.
You hear from over your shoulder Lily giggle. And she says, my mother used to tell me outlandish stories about the Great Flamebeard. I thought they were bedtime stories. I didn't know that they were based on you. I don't know what's true of her stories. But I found comfort in a hero from Frostmantle.
Well, the Great Flamebeard would have been Jiraiya, not me. I only wanted to follow in his footsteps. I don't think I've found the best way to do that just yet. But
As you say that, Gilly, clearly overcome by emotion and so much excitement, starts coughing heavily. A nurse rushes in and tries to comfort her. During that time, Lily says, please stay here, at least for the night.
I look back at her and, like, is it just the time, or is there something else bothering her?
Lily pauses and says, I don't know if it's her age, if her mind is going, or if there's something else. Because up until a couple months ago, she had mobility issues. But in her mind, she was there. This is the clearest I've seen her in a long time.
I'll look to her caregiver and go, is there any kind of disease here? Or something else impairing her? I just want to make her comfortable.
The nurse looks back and says, we haven't seen anything that would say anything against the fact that she's just an old lady that's holding on for something. But there's rumors in the Noldoran throne.
Cass kind of like clenches a fist when he hears that word.
It's not that we have any proof, but we don't know what's coming out of it because the people that are sent there to protect it, those that come back, talk about the fear that they've witnessed, but there's never any details. So honestly, we don't know if it's just treacherous for them or if there's more.
I have my suspicions based on what I saw in Valinor recently on my way back here.
Lily pops up and says, "You were in Valinor?"
I was there on the day of the King's name day.
So many people spoke so highly of him. And for him to be killed just like that. If you were there, were you scared?
Of course. Facing things like that, it's okay. Fear is okay. It's how you respond to the fear that makes the difference.
She nods. Almost like she's trying to understand, but she doesn't because she's never experienced anything like that. She takes a second, says, "Please stay here at least for the night. You have nieces and nephews and family that are here. And then if you came from Valinor and you're asking these questions that point to Noldoran throne, we can get you there if that's really the path that you want to take again."
Well, I will stay. Only to spend some more time with Gilly. It's been far, far too long since I've had a chance to enjoy her company. And then he reaches out back. Unfortunately, I'm carrying so many weapons right now. Pulls out his family's hammer and kind of sets it down and goes, "But once things are at peace here, I've got to go knock Noldoran throne down so nothing else will ever come out. And if I have to do that from the inside, I will."
So the night starts to wrap up. They get you all situated in comfortable beds. But before you all go to sleep, is there anything that anyone else wants to do?
I think Luminora is going to save any questions she has for at least tomorrow. Where Cass kind of has time either to himself or with Gilly. She's not going to interrupt whatever is going on because it seems very special.
Cass just spends the night sitting next to Gilly. He doesn't even bother with a bed. If he falls asleep in a chair, he does.
So the next morning rolls around. And it's not a huge town, so word of a Cass Flamebeard is spread throughout the town. The next morning rolls around while Cass has fallen asleep next to Gilly's bedside. Probably still holding her hand, she slips away. She passes in the night, almost like she was just waiting to say goodbye. The next morning comes around, and the nieces and nephews of Caster Flamebeard come by. They're not really happy to know more that it's truthfully him. But they do have something for him. And it's a letter left for him by Bryn.
By who?
Bryn.
Bryn.
Your cousin Bryn. He's been dead, unfortunately, for a long time. But had written a letter for Cass and left it with family just in case Cass ever returned. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, he's like almost like angrily grabbing it because the last time he saw Bryn, it wasn't really Bryn. There wasn't anything left at that point.
So as Cass reads the letter, it reads, Cass, my brother, though not kinship, you are the closest thing to that for me. You fiercely protected me, yet I betrayed you. Whether it was fully through a plot, or if some piece of me resented you for being the charmer and ladies' man, despite your recklessness. I do not know if you will ever make your way home. And if you do, I doubt you will ever want to see me again after what I did. Please know, I am sorry. The days and seasons blend together as I have never fully regained my mind. Only short moments of clarity and nightmares. I hope you find in yourself to forgive me. At least that way I may finally rest. Because the gods only know I will never be able to forgive myself and give myself that grace and peace. If you ever read this, Cass, please know of my sorrow and regret. This will be the second note I leave, but this is only for your eyes. Sealed in your family crest, for the first is for everyone else. I tried to move on and live despite my sins, but there's no life to live with half a mind and a heart full of remorse. Please remember me from the good times and not that day. I love you as my best friend, my confidant, and my brother. Signed, Bryn. As you read this, Cass can only assume that this was a suicide note. Do you want to dig deeper?
Yeah. I look at the nieces and nephews to bring it over and go, where's the first letter?
It's been lost to other family members when it was relevant.
Is there any record of it? Of what it said?
Other than apologies and a crime report, no. He put his head into the forge and waited. We don't know what happened. Father never talked of it. And if he ever did, it would have been what Bryn told him. And he never talked of it.
Well, at least Bryn was able to do something on his own terms versus being the puppet that he was.
They kind of look away, almost out of shame, because they never broke the seal on that letter until they gave it to you. They didn't know what was in it. They all thought that you abandoned them to go off adventuring.
So, like, how old are these nieces and nephews?
They're old. At this point in time, it would be nieces and nephews are 100, 150. Their kids, 40 and 50 years old.
Well, sure your grandfather said many things about me. Heck, you probably don't even believe I am who I say I am. I wouldn't believe it. Gone for centuries. Only to just show up here for no reason. I don't blame your anger. I would have thought I was just gone off gallivanting too. But I have been at unfinished business here. For Bryn, for our clan, and for Frostmantle. I need to do something to keep it safe. And I reach up and pull off the left glove. And I swear on this that I will not rest until I have made sure that there is no more threat to Frostmantle in the Mirror Valley. My grandfather Jariah protected this valley, and so it has passed to me to keep it up. And I put the glove back on.
And Lily kind of creeps
And yeah,
from,
I don't know
from
how
behind
many.
everyone.
I don't know how many people, even in the family, would know about the mark.
Most of them look confused. They've heard stories, but it's just that to them, stories. But Lily makes her way up through the nieces and nephews and the grand nieces and nephews and puts her hand on your shoulder and says, "You mentioned the Noldrun throne. I have a cart waiting to take you there, if that's the way that you want to go."
We gotta go knock that place down, even if it's brick by brick. I don't care what treasures they say are below. There's been too much heartache and death from that place for too many years.
So after a little bit of time, they do get a cart ready for the party to head to the Noldrun throne.
What Cass will do, though, is, the next morning and everything, he will introduce Lily to his Gilly.
She melts.
Yeah. And he'll say, "I named her after your grandma, and she helped keep me company for all those years out on the astral sea."
Lily through tears just from interacting with your Gilly for a short period of time acknowledges why you named her that, through the personality, through the gentleness, but also the fierceness in her eyes to pummel anyone that comes in the way of you. So the cart gets loaded up. You guys get on it and start heading to the Noldrun throne.
You guys ready to help me knock down a city?
The whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Yes. I've known you guys for like a day. Let's go.
I love how you say that as Valerian is like saying yes through tears. I'm here for it.
I've literally known them for a day. Day.
It's been like a week.
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
It took us almost a week to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
You go on, you get to the Noldrun throne, and as you approach to cast the famous and cursed cave opening, you start navigating your way through it. There's a slight glowing. The portal is still there, but it appears very fragmented. Like the dwarves, the holds have done their job protecting and resisting what lurks beyond. Did their best to blockade it in any way that they could. While you're there,
Adorable.
you can venture in further, or you can go back to Frostmantle and right to the thrones and heads of the various nations through Corvair to share your findings. First off, what do you want to do?
So, Cast kind of looks back at everybody, kind of gestures to it and goes, "That's the abomination that started my whole story, really. It's what pulled me away from this world and my family for over 300 years. I'm not even sure why they started building it. Not even sure who was in charge of all of it. I don't think it's going to matter if we try to bury it. It's too unstable, it's too powerful. We need to go kill it at its source. We need to find the maker. So I'm gonna go down there, and I'm gonna smash their fucking head in."
I need Lennox, Valerian, and Luminora to give me a perception check.
19.
14 for Lennox and Luminora.
11.
All four of you hear this voice in your head that goes, "You fools. You will never be able to stop what I have started. You can't stop real power." And in only Cass's head, he hears, "Caster, what a homecoming. Recycling your past only to damn everyone all over again." And the portal lights up. You start getting sucked into it. All four of you are thrown into this portal. As you land on the other side, it still looks cavernous, but instead of all being next to each other, you're spread throughout. The closest person to the portal, while it's still open, is Lennox. And he starts to get sucked back through it again. What do you do?
Wait, so say it again. I'm the closest one to.
You're thrown through this portal.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks very cavernous, but it's very dark and molten, not like the regular cave that you were just in. But as you stand up, this portal starts to pull you back into it. What does everyone else do? As Lennox is being pulled back, probably clawing at the ground to not get sucked back into this portal.
Keep in mind, I said I was going to help you. Even
Wait,
though
are
I
we
didn't
all
tell you
we're all
where
in the
you
same
were.
place?
Yeah, you
okay,
all
I thought-
see each other,
I thought we were all like.
but you see Lennox starting to get pulled back away from you, back into the portal that you were just spit out of.
Valerian dashes towards him to grab him and he'll be like pull him. Yeah.
Yeah, hold him with us.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
can I
where we're
thorn
gonna,
whip him?
that's where we're gonna end this episode.
You definitely could have just gave me the finger like I gave you earlier.
I thought about
and just been like, peace.
John, motherfucker!
Oh, that's funny.
I retract my previous thing. He gives him two
You
fingers.
can't. We already ended the episode.
Dashes
for him.
towards him and just goes.
Right in front of his face. Just
Yes,
like,
I went for him, but right before I reach him, I just. Oh wait.
Well, before we close this out, Jake, did you have fun playing for your first time?
I did. It went way longer than I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah, we took a lot of time the first the first half. I
It was
apologize.
fun. It definitely was fun. Yeah, long time, but fun.
It doesn't usually go this late.
It usually does not. I apologize.
I think Chad and Dave's like love story. I feel like the three of us were just like, oh my god, they're totally gonna.
Literally,
What's
I literally like teared up
I'm
sometimes. I'm
emailing
not
Hallmark
even
tomorrow.
kidding. Yeah.
I'm stealing this, Chad. Sorry.
I feel like your voice wasn't girly enough though, and that's saying something because you have a very girly voice.
That's hurtful. Well, if our listeners like this and would like to support us, head over to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
He's cutting this off right now.
Yep, absolutely. You guys hurt my feelings. Also, please like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast to stay up to date on episodes, other updates and announcements, and hopefully less cyberbullying from Jake.
What? What do you mean?
Is there anything that y'all would like to plug for this?
Nah, not for me this week. I think I've tugged at enough heartstrings.
Yeah.
The Dyslands?
Not this week.
Jake, are you going to get this one right this time?
I got it. Go check out All Things Nerd podcast. That's our thing.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Anyways, it's
Well,
1:30 in the morning.
I know. I'm sorry. From all of us here, thank you and have a good time, and goodbye from Kobolds in the
I
Basement.
was like, shit, was I supposed to pour a shot?
See ya.
Cheers.